There's a lot of things that can kill you on the Sea of Thieves. Krakens, sharks, big sharks, ghosts, ghost ships, skeletons, skeleton ships, even more NPC enemies, and of course, other players. 90% of the action is combat or the threat of it. But what if we broke that cycle? What if we were non-violent? If we fought, or well, let ourselves die hundreds of times in the name of peace? I call this the Pacifist Pirate Legend Challenge. I have to get from the beginning of the game, starting with nothing, all the way to Pirate Legend. However, the twist is I can't harm, let alone kill, a single thing. If I get attacked by anything on the open water, I can't fight back, and I'm basically sunk unless I can get away. Anytime a skeleton hits me, I just have to take it. If an enemy player attacks me in any way, shape, or form, GG's, game's over. Here are the rules. 1. I cannot harm or kill anything directly or indirectly. I'm allowed to use any weapons or tools as long as I'm not using them for an offensive purpose. 2. I have to start from scratch. To beat the challenge, I have to get level 50 with any 3 trading companies, earning me the title of Pirate Legend. The challenge officially ends when I speak to Ramsey, the Pirate Lord, in the Athena's Fortune hideout. 3. I have to do this solo. I can't receive any help from any of my friends or crewmates. However, I am allowed to make alliances with normal random players on the server. 4. I can interact with other players and communicate with them in any way. I'm allowed to tell them I mean no harm, that I won't shoot, etc. That said, I cannot state that I am doing a challenge. 5. The challenge must take place on the high seas in adventure mode. 6. I have to start off the challenge using charter ships. However, if I earn enough gold for captaincy, I am allowed to purchase my own ship and use the sovereigns to speed things up. 7. All resource stash voyages, such as a sailor's stash, and doubloons via season renown I earn on this pirate, I'm allowed to use. 8. I can use doubloons I earn to purchase letters of recommendation. 9. All raw VODs will be uploaded to a second channel, Echo's Evidence, to prove I actually beat the challenge without harming anything. And finally, the most important rule, number 10, any action I take must be in line with the spirit of the challenge. Now that we got the rules out of the way, let's talk game plan. First, of course, trading companies. The first one I'm choosing and really going to focus on is the Merchant Alliance. They're an extremely peaceful organization relative to the other companies, and they're all about trade and shared prosperity. All of their voyages I can complete with minimal contact with anyone, NPC or player, and they fit the theme of this challenge well. I'll most likely be receiving the majority of my income from these guys too. The second trading company I'm going to focus on is the Hunter's Call. Their fishing voyages allow me to avoid enemies, and the trading company as a whole is relatively peaceful despite being the hunting-based trading company in the game. If we were still in a world with the original 3, that being the Gold Hoarders, the Order of Souls, and the Merchant Alliance, this challenge would be literally impossible since I'd have to do Order of Souls and kill skeletons. The Hunter's Call being in the game makes this possible. The final trading company? Well, the easiest would be the Reaper's Bones, as I could sell them merchant cargo or fish, but as a whole, they're an extremely aggressive trading company that would violate the spirit of the challenge. That's that 10th rule. As such, our best bet would be the Gold Hoarders. The issue, however, is with the Gold Hoarder voyages, skeletons often spawn after unearthing treasure chests. My hope is that by shooting lure darts and using the grapple gun, 2 new weapons in the game, I can distract and outrun the skeletons long enough to dig up the chest and get out. I experimented with this a little bit ahead of time, and it actually worked. Again, this challenge is more possible now more than ever due to not just the Hunter's Call, but the blowpipe and the grapple gun being options I have at my disposal. Honestly, I don't know if this challenge is possible, but I'm excited to try it out, and no matter what, I'm sure I'll have fun. Without further ado, let's dive right into it. Who looks like a pacifist? Wouldn't it be someone with a gun? You guys think this guy would be a pacifist? I think this is decent. Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. This is our guy. Pacifist McGee. That's gonna be his name. 10 characters maximum? What? Let's call him Pat McGee. Wow. Pat McGlee. There we go. Pat McGlee. Look at him. He doesn't know the legend he's going to become, but he's going to become one day. After being newly born, our hero, Pat McGlee, awoke from his slumber and set off for adventure. I luckily didn't have to complete the maiden voyage, which is great because you are forced to kill a skeleton right at the beginning of it. Pat McGlee, though, being the peaceful man he is, had to do no such thing. I also think it's important to note that for some reason I immediately received 50,000 gold. No clue why this happened, but it was a nice head start towards captaincy. I threw down the merchant tutorial mission and hastily sailed towards Mutiner's Rock to fulfill our first ever task, catching a chicken of any variety. Since I was given the liberty to choose whichever chicken I saw fit, I caught the golden chicken to get the most gold possible. I quickly turned it in with no issue, other than the fact I delivered it to the totally wrong place. I'm such a noob. I just went to a random outpost with a chicken.
Yep,
I gotta go to a specific one.
Oh, man.
When I actually paid attention to where I was going, I got to plunder outposts right as a galleon left and turned in our chicken, officially completing our first voyage. I started another merchant voyage, our first non-tutorial voyage, and charted a course to Paradise Spring to pick up 2 pigs. I also claimed 10 doubloons from the season pass. I caught the black-coated pig just fine, but when it came to the pink and black spotted pig, I made a pretty massive blunder. Dude, I have like nothing right now. Oh, whoops, that's the... Dude, I just got the wrong pig.
Oh, no.
I can't kill it. Normally, you could just kill the pig, get the meat, cook the meat if you wanted to, and get the next pig. But I'm a pacifist. I had to cancel this voyage, take this pig all the way to an outpost, and sell it for chump change. Between the chicken and the pig, it's been a rough start to this challenge. But despite how tired I was of doing merchant voyages already, I couldn't end on a loss like that. I threw a new voyage down and went to Lookout Point, again attempting to catch 2 pigs. This time, the pigs weren't the issue. I caught them both nice and quickly. It was getting them safely to the outpost that was hard. On my way to the outpost, I faced a storm. Sure, a minor setback, but a setback nonetheless. If lightning strikes my pigs, they're literally cooked. The biggest issue was the sloop waiting for me at the outpost. Oh my god, there's a ship here. Throw the anchor down and go. I quickly threw down my anchor, got my pigs, put them on the rowboat, and I got a bug. Not just any bug, oh no. A bug that made it so I couldn't row my rowboat. I decided to pull my anchor back up, using my sloop as a decoy, buying myself time to get my pigs to the outpost. Now, I think this player was AFK or they really were distracted by my ship. Either way, I managed to get both the pigs sold. Tired of the anxiety that keeping live animals was giving me, and seeing as though I now had cargo runs unlocked, I decided to give myself a nice little break from the action and do a chill Hunter's Call voyage. Surely nothing could go wrong, right? Right? I'm getting attacked by something. I'm getting attacked by the feared Redmaw!
What the hell? I just got this stuff up, and now I'm getting attacked by
Dude!
Italian.
I'm getting attacked by the feared Redmaw! I'm cooked! My first Omega in the game, and it's the feared Redmaw! For the uninitiated, a feared Redmaw is a megalodon that lights your ship on fire whenever it bites you. In other words, I am screwed. However, I managed to get to Mutiner's Rock, so I was briefly safe. The issue, however, was that the shoal I had to fish in to complete the Hunter's Call voyage was too far to reach, so I tried to get a little closer, and... I hear the music. That's so not fair if he's right here. Or maybe he despawned?
Dude, you're just brand new player and they're like throwing it at you.
They're Redmaw, dude. This is not This is crazy.
He still at you?
He just... Oh my god! As if this situation wasn't bad enough, a sloop was watching my every move. Eventually, after another failed attempt to reach the shoal, as I want to go, he's back on me! No, that's so not fair! Leave me alone! I finally got close enough to catch my 3 trophy fish, albeit with our friend the Meg staying extremely close by. I turned in my fish to the hunter's call, and we began sailing to complete our final voyage of the session, the tutorial Gold Hoarder mission. On my way there, I spotted a shipwreck and decided to stop by. I was quickly disappointed when I realized this was a smuggler's ship. You see, the Smugglers League is the only trading company in the game that has no titles, reputation, or emissary licenses. In other words, they're completely useless to me. That being said, I did pick up 3 Horns of Fair Wind, my favorite treasure in the game, a crate of Immaculate Diamonds, a Sapphire Mermaid Gem, and a chest containing an elaborate Flanagan. I then went to Paradise Spring to dig up some buried treasure, and added some fireworks to a random firework crate I found on Paradise Spring that I would later sell to the merchants. I went to Plunder Outpost to turn everything in, opting to turn in my mermaid gem to the gold hoarders as I suspected they would be the hardest thing to level up in this challenge. As I worked on yet another pig-based merchant contract, I picked up a cargo run from a message in a bottle as well as a powder keg. On the island itself, I found a storage crate. After quite a bit of sailing and a scary encounter with a Reaper's Bone emissary, I managed to get to Daggertooth to turn in my pigs. While at Daggertooth, I claimed our first Sailor's Stash voyage, and picked up our first 3 promotions in the game. We finished up our run by delivering the cargo we received from that message in a bottle, and selling any outstanding loot we had. We also claimed 10 more doubloons from the Season Pass. We ended our run at level 7 with the Merchant Alliance, level 5 with the Hunter's Call, and level 5 with the Gold Hoarders. So far, this has been a really fun challenge, and I've experienced the game in a completely different way. If you guys have any suggestions as to editing, as to gameplay, any tips, feel free to let me know. My dad recommended pulling from the quest board since it's sort of a catch-all. But if you guys have any ideas, just let me know. Thanks, and I'll see you guys next time.